Hi everybody, it's Gemma. Welcome back to Pampered Wolf. Today I'm going to be doing a review and a wear test on the e.l.f. Foundation Serum. Now you may have seen me do a full face of e.l.f. not so long ago and I absolutely loved this foundation, but it was not the right shade for me. The right shade for an Oompa Loompa? Not for me. So I thought I would try and get the right shade of foundation and do a little bit of a wear test for you to show you how long this is going to last looking nice on my skin. So if you are interested in finding out, then please keep watching. Okay, so I'm really quite excited about this video because I was so positive about this foundation the first time round. So I'm hoping the change in shade is not going to hinder things in any way. Why would it? Well, we're going to see in this video. But anyway, let's do a little bit of information about this foundation before I get some on my face. Okay, so this is the e.l.f. Barely Bare Foundation Serum. You only get 14 mils in this bottle, which was a little bit of a surprise for me because I thought this was a 30 ml bottle, but it's not. It's only 14 mils. It's £9 in the UK, $8 in the US, but 30 mils is standard for a foundation. So if we compare against a 30 ml bottle, this would cost you £19 in the UK and $17 in the US, which takes it way out of the price league of any drugstore foundation that I have ever bought. So this is actually quite expensive for the amount of product that you get. It also only comes in 5 shades. Now the spectrum is wide, but obviously 5 shades is extremely poor. Now if you saw my full face of e.l.f. not so long ago, you will have seen that the light to medium looked really orange on my skin. So I'm hoping that this one, which is the lightest shade that they do in fair to light, is going to be a better match for me. Anyway, this is supposed to be completely weightless. It's supposed to give a radiant, youthful, luminous, dewy finish, which is definitely the sort of look that I'm after. It's light to light medium coverage, so they do say that this is buildable. It's infused with vitamin A, C and E. It's also got grapeseed oil in there, pomegranate oil and goji berry. This is supposed to brighten the skin, restore the skin, nourish the skin and protect the skin, and it's also got an SPF of 25 in here, which is seriously good for a serum foundation. The main kicker in this is that it is cruelty free and it's also vegan. So let's get some of this on. Okay, so like normal, I've got my serums, my moisturizers already on my face, and I have spot concealed a tiny weeny bit today because I do have a little bit of redness, and knowing that this is light to medium coverage rather than a full coverage, I thought I'd better do that first. Now I have tried this foundation before in my full face of e.l.f. video. If you haven't seen that already, I will link it up here for you to watch a little bit later. I really liked the foundation, but it was completely the wrong shade for me. Now like I said in the intro, this is only 5 shades, which is seriously poor. So you may struggle to find a shade that actually matches your skin tone. Now the one that I tried before was light to medium, far too orange for me. So today I'm trying the lightest shade that they do in this range, which is fair to light, hoping that this is going to suit me. Really important that you shake this foundation up, otherwise you're only going to get a handful of the serum rather than the serum and the foundation mixed together. Then you'll be disappointed, but you'll have beautiful skin. It's extremely liquidy. It's running off the back of my hand. Seems like a nice shade match though. Let's get this on. Okay, so this is really fair coverage. It reminds me a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder foundation. It's that level of coverage. It is evening all my skin tone out there, which is pretty decent. I am using a hell of a lot of product though. I've already used 2 pumps and I'm out. Can't actually remember using this much in the previous video. Maybe that's because the foundation was so dark for me, it just spread I don't know, maybe. Does feel really, really beautiful on the skin though, and it definitely does look luminous. But if you are a medium coverage sort of person, then this is probably not going to be great for you. We're going to see if it's buildable in a minute. Now this is definitely a better shade match for me than the light to medium. I quite like it, it's actually quite a good match, but not very much coverage whatsoever. It just evens everything out. So if you're having a no makeup day, this might be perfect for you. It also feels really, really beautiful on the skin. At the moment, it's still a little bit tacky because it's not dried down, but it definitely doesn't feel sticky. Let's see if it's buildable. Okay, so this is definitely buildable. I have built the foundation up on this side of my face and you can definitely see a difference. There's no redness. This is more of a light medium coverage, whereas on this side I've left it and you can definitely see all the imperfections that are left on my skin. It has evened the skin tone out a little bit on this side with one coat, but there is still a lot that hasn't covered up on this side. I'm always a really big believer that if you want medium coverage, you should buy a medium coverage foundation, not a light coverage foundation and build it up to medium, because it's not going to perform as well if you apply far too much of it. Also, I've used 4 pumps of foundation. That's a hell of a lot of foundation to use. It doesn't feel heavy on the face, it does feel very lightweight. But considering what I said in the intro about how expensive this foundation actually is, it's not expensive to purchase, but you have to remember that you are getting half the normal amount of foundation that you would normally get in a drugstore or high-end product. So this is actually quite expensive, especially if you're going to need to use 4 to 5 pumps of this to get a medium coverage. I would say I probably used 2, maybe 2.5 pumps to get a light coverage of foundation all over my face, which is still a lot of pumps of foundation to use, but it doesn't feel heavy on the skin, so I'm quite happy with that. It's just this foundation is going to run out quite quickly if you use it in excess. Definitely looks really beautiful on my skin though. It's a natural luminous finish, so it's not super dewy. I'm going to see what this looks like with the rest of my makeup on and I'll be right back. Okay, so at the beginning of this video, I was so excited because in the last video, I really loved this foundation in the darker shade. It went so orange, especially after it had oxidized. But I don't like this today, and I don't know why. It just doesn't look right. This is oxidized, but it's oxidized more yellowy than orangey, which I have never known a foundation do before. It's always gone a little bit more orangey on me, not yellow, and this one just makes me look a little bit ill. The coverage is also poor, which I didn't feel like it was in the dark foundation. Maybe that is just a colour match issue. I don't actually mind the actual coverage because obviously if you're buying a serum foundation, you know that it's going to be light coverage. It looks really nice on my skin. It's a lot more matte than I was expecting. It's a very natural foundation. Looks like I don't have any foundation on at all, which is a really good thing. I don't know why I'm disappointed. We're just gonna run with it, see how it lasts throughout the day, because when I wore the e.l.f. foundation in the full face of e.l.f., I didn't do a wear test on it, but I obviously did wear it all day and it wore really well. It lasted well, so I'm hoping that today it's gonna last well as well. I just feel like this is a completely different foundation that I've got on my face and I'm not quite sure why. A little bit baffled. The next time you see me is going to be in natural lighting, and then I'm going to do a wear test and check in with you throughout the day. Hopefully it will be a positive experience. See y'all in a bit. Okay, so this is the foundation in natural lighting. I'm actually in my daughter's room because she has the best lighting at this time of day, so I'm in her room. I do not have cuddly toys on my wall in my bedroom. I really don't. Wes is cuddly enough. I do not need cuddly toys. Anyway, this is the foundation in natural lighting. As you can see underneath my eye, I'm not quite sure whether you can pick that up on camera, my concealer has creased a little bit. That is completely my fault. I should never have put foundation underneath my concealer. I never ever do that, but I just thought with this being a serum, it would just sink into my skin, moisturize a little bit, and it would be absolutely fine. Anyway, it's not, so I won't be doing that again. I just think this foundation makes me look a little bit ill. I don't know whether it's the yellowy tinge of it, but it's not the greatest look on me, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, this is the side that has the medium coverage, so it's built up to a light medium coverage, and this is the side that is just one coat of the foundation and it's light coverage, and as you can see, you can still see every single imperfection under there. Earlier on it did sink into these fine lines here. I was expecting it on this side because this is the side that's been built up, but to be quite honest, I wasn't expecting it on this side. The first time I applied this foundation, it sank into my skin so beautifully and it was just really, really smooth. Don't get me wrong, it is really brilliantly smooth, but it didn't crease last time and it is doing this time, so not quite sure what I've done differently. I really don't know. I am a little bit baffled. It hasn't taken away any redness. I do have some redness in between my brows today. It's a little bit of a spot that's coming. So maybe a medium coverage foundation would have been better for me today, but if you are after something that's going to cover redness, this might not be the best foundation for you. Anyway, it still looks really nice. It definitely looks skin-like, so if you're after that, then definitely this will be great for you. I'm going to check in with you throughout the day and let you know how this foundation is getting on. Will it still be on my face? Will it look patchy? I don't know. I'll see you all in a bit. Welcome back to the check-in. It's now been just over 11 hours since I first applied the foundation to my skin. Do you know what? It's done really, really well. I really shouldn't have been so pessimistic with this earlier on because there's really nothing wrong with this foundation. It's a really nice serum foundation and it's done really, really well. The longevity of this foundation is really, really good considering that it's a light coverage foundation. Usually they've worn off by the end of the day, but this has been 11 hours. And yes, my concealer's rubbed off the blemishes that I've got on my face, but the foundation itself's done pretty well. Now, I think I'm just tired, and because I'm mentally tired, my skin is also tired. And I found myself earlier on wrestling, trying to get my coat on, and I just couldn't understand why I couldn't get this stupid coat on. And I was wrestling with it and then realised that it was actually my son's coat. He's only 9. It's not going to fit me. Oh, and then I tried to open my house door with my car key, and it took me about 5 minutes to realise, once I was completely frustrated and almost swearing at my own front door, that I was trying to use my car keys to open the front door. It's not been the greatest of days, but I've got to say, my face looks okay. I mean, it doesn't look as nice as it would have done if I'd got a medium to full coverage foundation on, because this was really a day where I could have done with a medium to full coverage foundation. My skin's quite tired, and because of that it's a little bit dull, so I could have done with that medium to full coverage just to brighten things up a little bit, but it's done really, really well. Now, would I say that this is a foundation that's worthwhile going and getting? No, probably not. And the reason I wouldn't recommend you go out and buy this foundation is it has two major flaws. One is the amount of product that you actually get, which makes this actually really expensive for what you get, and also the rubbish shade range. So I would either spend the extra £10 on the YSL Touche Éclat All-in-One Glow, or I would go for the cheaper version and get the Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum Foundation. Probably wouldn't go for this one. Anyway, hope you found this video helpful. If you have, please do give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget, I'm also on Instagram as well. If you want to follow me on there, it's Pampered Wolf, all lowercase, no spaces. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. There is a watermark in this corner. If you click on it, it will take you through to my homepage where you can subscribe. Hope to see you all again soon. Bye.